Heli Mehta, working as an assistant professor in Computer Engineering Department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is Database Management System. Our unit is Storage Strategy. Today our topic is hazing. Okay, so first of all, what is hazing? In a huge database structure, it is very inefficient to search all the indexes values and reach the desired data. So we have a very huge database structure, okay, in which we are searching the index. This task is very difficult and very inefficient. So hazing technique is used to calculate the direct location of the data record on a disk without using the index structure. Okay, so hazing is also used to retrieve the data, okay, but it will not use the index structure. So hazing technique is used to calculate the location of the data on the disk without using index structure. This is the definition of hazing. In this technique, data is stored at the data block whose address is generated by using the hash function. So hash function is very important in the hazing techniques. Okay, so data is stored on the data block using the hazing function. The memory location where these records are stored is known as data bucket or data block. Okay, so data are always stored at some location in the memory. Okay, so this memory location is known as data bucket or data block in hazing technique. In this, a hash function can choose any of the column value to generate the address. Most of the time, the hash function uses the primary key to generate the address of the data block. Okay, so hash function uses primary key to generate the address. A hash function is a simple mathematical function to any complex mathematical function. Okay, so we are using some mathematical function as a hash function to find out the memory location. We can even consider the primary key itself as the address of the data block. So primary key is a unique value for each and every record. Okay, so we can use primary key as a address in the data block. Hazing method is used to index and retrieve items in the database as it is faster to search the specific item using the shortest hash key instead of using its original value. So simply we are using the hash function to calculate the address of the data. Data is stored in the form of data blocks where address is generated by applying hash function in the memory location where these records are stored known as a data. Okay, so remember this hash function is used to calculate the memory location where our data is stored. Okay, see the diagram in which we have a data records, we have a bucket address. So this is the address and this is the actual data in the memory. Okay, here we are using primary key as a address. See here we have a 98 data records and we are using address 98 as a data bucket address, and 100 zone and Delhi is our original data. Okay, so this data is stored at the address 98. Okay, and it is the data record 103, so 103 over here, 106, so 106 over here, 102, so 102 over here. So this is the data record and primary key. We can say it a primary key, and this primary key is used as a bucket address. Okay, so this is the hazing technique, and this at this address particular data is recorded. Okay, so at 98 this is the data, at 103 this is the data, at 106 data, at 104 data is 104, and at 102 data is 102. Okay, this is the structure of hazing. Now the above diagram shows the data block address same as the primary key as I explained. Okay, this is our primary key, and primary key itself used as an address. Okay, this hash function can also be simple mathematical function like exponential, mode, cos, sine, etc. Okay, so we can use any mathematical function as a hash function. Okay, suppose we have a mode 5. Okay, so mode 5 is a hash function to determine the address of the data block. So in this case, it applies mode 5 hash function on the primary keys and generate this address respectively, and records are stored in those data block address. Now see here, in previous diagram we use primary key as a direct address. Okay, now we apply on primary key data mode 5, and which is our result is known as the address. Okay, so first of all, our data is 98. Okay, so 98 mode 5. Okay, so we divide 98 by 5 and we can get the remainder 3. Okay, so 3 is the address of 98. Okay, so here we store data 98 at 98 address, as we are using primary key as the data address. Now we are using hash function. Okay, and for hash function you can use any mathematical function like exponential, mode, cosine, etc. Now here we are using mode function. Okay, so in mode function our output will be our remainder. Okay, so when we divide 98 by 5, we get the remainder 3. So data address will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we get the answer 3. When we divide 98 by 5, we get the remainder 3, which is our answer of this function mode 5. Okay, so we are storing this at this data 98 alia UK at the address 3. Okay, now next is 104. Okay, divide 104 by 5 and we get the remainder 4. So 105 is stored over here. Okay, now 106. When we divide 106 by 5, we get the remainder 1. So 106 is stored over here. Okay, now 102. When we divide 102 by 5, because we have a function mode 5. Okay, so 102 divided by 5, we get the remainder 2. So 102 is stored over here. Now take another data, that is 103. Okay, when we divide 103 by mode 5, we get 3. Okay, and at address 3, 98 is already stored. Okay, so it creates chaining, and after 98, at the right side of 98, 103 is stored. Okay, so this is known as chaining. Okay, when two data got the same address, then chaining is performed. See here. Okay, this is the concept of hashing. So we can use any hash function like this, or we can use primary key as a data address directly. This is the concept of hashing. Now why do we need hashing? Okay, here are the situation in the database where you need to apply the hashing methods. Okay, for a huge database structure. Okay, database is always huge. For the huge database structure, it's tough to search all the index value through all its level, and then you need to reach the destination data block to get the desired data. So first of all, whenever we have a huge data structure, we have to search the index value, and it is very difficult task. Okay, to overcome this problem, hashing is used. Second is, hashing method is also used to index and retrieve items in the database, as it is the faster to search than using specific sorted hash key instead of using its original value. So second is, hashing method is very fast. Third is, hashing is an ideal method to calculate the direct location of the data records on the disk without using the index structure. So we are using here hash function, so we can directly get the address. Okay, so we can use this hashing to calculate the direct location. It is also helpful technique for implementing dictionaries. Okay, so hashing is used when database is very huge and we want to get data very fast. Hashing method is very faster. Okay, and we can calculate the direct location using hash function, and it is also useful to implement the dictionaries. So we need the hashing. Now important terminologies using in hashing. So first is data bucket. Okay, a data bucket are the memory location where the records are stored. It is also known as unit of storage. Okay, data bucket, where it is the memory location where our data is stored. Simple. Next is key. A DBMS key is an attribute or a set of attributes which helps you to identify the row or relations. This allows you to find the relationship between two tables, as I explained in earlier lecture, the concept of key. So key is an attribute or a set of attributes which is used to identify any data in the database. Next is hash function. Hash function is a mapping function which maps all the set of search key to address where actual records are placed. So hashing function is used to calculate the address as I explained earlier. Mode 5. Mode 5 is a hash function. So all keys are divided by 5 and the answer is the remainder. So remainder is our address. So this type of hash function is used to store the data, to calculate the memory location where we store the data. Next is linear probing. Linear probing is a fixed interval between probes. In this method, the next available data block is used to enter the new record instead of overwriting on the older record. Suppose we get the data address 3, and at address 3 98 is already stored, okay, and when we are using 103 again we get the address 3, okay. So to overwriting the data, instead of overwriting the data, the next address, which is 4, is used to store the 103. This method is known as linear probing, and in previous example we used the chaining method where after the previous record the new data is stored when we get the same address. And in linear probing, if at address 3 98 is already stored, okay, and when we calculate 103 we again get the address 3, then if next address is 4 and 4 is blank, then 103 is stored at the 4 if it is blank. Now here 104 is also occupied, so it will goes into 5. Here at address 5 we have no data, so 103 is stored at the address 5. This method is known as linear probing, where in this method, next available data block is used to store the data when original address is already occupied. Okay, next is quadratic probing. It helps you to determine the new bucket address. It helps you to add interval between probes by adding the consecutive output of the quadratic polynomial to starting value given by the original computation. This method is overcome the problem of linear probing. Next is hash index. It is an address of the data block. Okay, a hash function could be a simple mathematical function to even a complex mathematical function. So hash index is the address of the data block. So here we have a data bucket address. So this is known as a hash index. It is the address of the data. Okay, so this is known as hash index. Next is double hashing. Double hashing is a computer programming method used in the hash table to resolve the issue of the hash collision. So, hash collision means at particular address, multiple data are waiting to store the data. This problem is known as a collision, and double hashing is the method to solve the problem. Next is bucket overflow. The condition of bucket overflow is called collision. Okay, as I explained, for address 3, multiple data are waiting to store the data, and at a time we can add only one data. So this situation is known as a collision. This is the fatal stage for any static hash to function. Okay, so collision is a problem of hashing method. Next is types of hashing. There are two types of hashing method, that is static hashing and second is dynamic hashing. So first of all we will see static hashing. In the static hashing, the resultant data bucket address will always remain the same. As name suggests, static means constant. Okay, so when the address of the data bucket is always remain same, then this concept is known as static hashing. Okay, suppose we are using the hash function mode 5. Okay, and when we calculate the key value 103, okay, so 103 mode 5, how many times we are calculating, the answer will remain same 3. Okay, here there will be a no change in the bucket address. Okay, so this type of hashing is known as a static hashing. Therefore, in the static hashing method, the number of data buckets in the memory always remain constant. Okay, so for 98 mode 5, we will get 3. Okay, when we get for employee ID 103 mode 5, so we divide 103 by 5 and we get the bucket address 3 as our remainder is 3. Okay, how many times you calculate this, we always get the answer 3. Okay, so this type of hashing is known as static hashing, where address will remain same always. Okay, So operations on static hazing, that is searching the data in the record. Searching means already we have a database and we are searching some records using hash function. Okay, when a record needs to be searched, then the same hash function retrieves the address of the bucket where the data is stored. So using hash function we are searching our data. Insert a data. When a new record is inserted into the table, then we will generate an address for the new record based on the hash function. Okay, next is delete a record. To delete a record, we will first fetch the record which is supposed to be deleted. Okay, then we will delete the record for the address in the memory. So uh, on static hazing, we are searching the data, we can insert the new data, we can delete the stored data, and we can update the data. To update a record, we will first search it using the hash function. Okay, and then the data is updated. Okay, data update means change the value. Okay, if we want to insert some new record in the file, but the address of the data bucket generated by the hash function is not empty. Okay, so data is already occupied and this address is not empty, or data already exists in that address. This situation in the static hashing is known as bucket overflow. So overflow means for particular address multiple data are waiting, and at particular address data is already stored. So this location is not empty. This concept is known as a bucket overflow. This is the critical situation in this method. So on static hashing we can perform searching, insertion, deletion, and updation of records. Next method is dynamic method. As name suggests, the dynamic hashing method is used to overcome the problem of static hashing like bucket overflow. Okay, to overcome the problem of static hashing, dynamic hashing is used. In this method, as name suggests, dynamic hashing, the data buckets grow or shrink. Okay, so uh, we can grow and remove the data buckets according to the records, increases or decreases. This method is also known as extendable hashing method. So we can add or remove the data buckets. Okay, in static hashing data buckets are constant. Okay, and in dynamic hashing according to our records, if records are increases, then we are growing the data bucket, and if records are decreasing, then we are shrinking the data buckets. Okay, so this method is known as dynamic hashing. This method makes hashing dynamic. It allows insertion or deletion without resulting in the poor performance. So insertion and deletion of data bucket is not affect on the performance. Okay, how to search a key? First, calculate the hash address of the key using hash function. Okay, check how many bits are used in the directory, and these bits are called as a I. For example, take the least significant bits of the hash address. This gives an index of the directory. I will explain it with example. Now using the index, go to the directory and find the bucket address where the record might be. Okay, so we have to find out the significant bits. Okay, now how to insert a data? Firstly, you have to follow the same procedure for retrieval, ending up in the sum buckets. Okay, if there is still space in the bucket, then place the record in it. It is the common that if we have a space in the bucket, we can easily add the record. Problem is arise when bucket is full. Okay, if the bucket is full, then we will split the buckets and redistribute the records. Okay, so the problem of bucket full is solved like this. We will split the buckets and redistribute the records. Okay, now consider the example. Here we have a keys into the bucket depending on the prefix of their hash address. Okay, now here we have a key 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and here we have a hash address. Okay, now we are consider last two digits. Okay, so for 1 last two bits are 1 0, for 2 last two bits are 0 0, for 3 last two bits are 1 0, for 4 last two bits are 0 0, for 5 it is 0 1, for 6 it is also 0 1, and for 7 it is 1 1. Okay, remember these last two bits. Now see here, we are using 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1 as we are using 2 bits. Okay, so possibilities of this is 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1 for data records. Okay, now 0 0, find 0 0. Okay, for 0 0 we will get 2 and 4. Okay, so 2 and 4 are put over here, and we name the bucket B0. Okay, now we have a 0 1. Okay, for 0 1, 0 1 we have a 5 and 6. Okay, so 5 and 6 we put over here and we give the bucket name B1. Okay, next we have a 1 0. Okay, so for 1 0 we get 1 and 3. Okay, so we put 1 3 and we give bucket name B2. Now for 1 1 we get only 7. So this is the concept. Okay, and we can easily insert the data. Okay, now for example, next we have to insert a key 9. Okay, which is not given in the previous example, but now we are using the key number 9 with the hash address 1001 into the above structure. Okay, so we get the address 01. Okay, so for 01 we add over here 9. Okay, so bucket will be overflow. Okay, so what we will happen, what we will do now, since key 9 has address 1001, it must go into the first bucket, but the bucket B1 is full, so it will get split. Okay, when we put 9 over here, the bucket is overflow, so we have to split from 6. Okay, so the splitting will separate 5 9 from 6, since last 3 bits of 5 9 are 0 0 1. Now what we are doing in previous example, we are using last 2 bits. Okay, now we are using last 3 bits. Okay, so we have, for 1 we have to consider 0 1 0, for 2 we have to consider 0 0 0, for 3 we have to consider 1 1 0, for 4 0 0 0, for 5 0 0 1, for 6 1 0 1, and for 7 1 1 1. Okay, so the splitting will separate 5 9 from the 6. Okay, since last 3 bits of 5 9 are 0 0 1, so it will go into bucket B1. Okay, and the last 3 bits of 6 are 1 0 1, so it will go into the bucket B5. So according to 3 possibilities, okay, we have this type of bucket, that is 0 0 0, 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 1, and 1 1 1. Okay, so now we consider last 3 bits, and according to that we will put in the bucket. So I explain over here, the key 2 and 4 are still in B0 as they have address 0 0 0. The record in the B0 pointed by the 0 0 0 and 1 0 0 entry, because the last 2 bits of both the entry are 0 0. The key 1 and 3 are still in the B2 as the records in the B2 pointed by the 0 1 0 and the 1 1 0 entry, because last 2 bits of both the entry are 1 0. Okay, and key 7 are still in the B3, the records in the B3 pointed by the 1 1 1 and 0 1 1 entry, because the last 2 bits of the both the entry are 1 1. Okay, so 2 and 4 are at 0 0 0, 5 and 9 are at 0 0 1, 1 and 3 are at 0 1 1, for 7 it is 0 1 1. Okay, and for 6 it is 1 0 1. Okay, so 0 0 0 2 4. Okay, 5 9 remains 0 0 1. Okay, for 2 and 4 again we have a last 2 bit is 0 0, so it consider over here. Okay, now for 1 3 it is 0 1 0 last 2 bits, so it is over here. Now 0 1 1 it is over here, 0 1 1 and 1 1 0, so 7 is considered over here also, as to last 2 bits are same as I explained over here. So this concept is known as dynamic hazing. Thank you.